So now, we wait. Ladies and gentlemen, later today, at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, we will witness Game 2 of the Montreal Canadiens and the Tampa Bay Lightning in their 2026 Stanley Cup Playoffs first round series. In order to get us into the right mindset for this hockey game, what I wanted to do was take a look at Eric Engels' article from yesterday, Monday, April 20th, that goes over some very interesting notes heading into today's contest. We dive into what Jon Cooper, Tampa Bay Lightning head coach, had to say about the narrative of the game, his team and their discipline, and then we'll also talk about Alexandre Carrier, Arber Xhekaj, and the void that was left by Noah Dobson. Of course, this article is from yesterday, so any of the practice notes and other pieces of commentary from this morning, it's not going to be included in this piece, but I do think that this is necessary reading for a lot of us who have been paying attention to the series and who have been watching the games unfold. So let's dive into it, shall we? This article opens up by talking about Alexandre Carrier and how it was 6 shifts into his first game in 3 weeks that Carrier made a series of plays that perfectly encapsulated his value to the Canadiens. The first one came 9 seconds before Josh Anderson opened the scoring on Sunday. As soon as Carrier saw Mike Matheson rimming the puck from across the blue line, he identified the only way for the Canadiens to win it and maintain their balance in the offensive zone. He needed to dive down and get it. Carrier did so without hesitating. He ended up jackknifing the puck forward, and then inevitably pushed it Anderson's way. With Noah Dobson out, I know we're all going to have to step up a little bit and pick up some of those minutes, which we are ready to do so, said Caden Gooley. Carrier plays so hard and simple, the type of player you need to make a long run in the playoffs. Carrier's assist on Anderson's goal was his 11th point in his 22nd career playoff game. Closer to his end, he did what he always does, finishing with 3 hits, 2 block shots, and spending 4 minutes and 13 seconds of his 18:36 fighting hard to keep Lightning players away from goaltender Jakub Dobeš on the penalty kill. Those are all things Dobson did especially well this season, and things the Canadiens would have struggled to do without Carrier. So yeah, big shout out to you, Alexandre Carrier, stepping into some big shoes with Noah Dobson out of the lineup. But based off of everything we had seen out of him yesterday, obviously he is poised and ready to go. Let's hope that continues today into Game 2. The article also talks about Arber Xhekaj, and how the guy didn't really play all too many games or all too many minutes throughout the course of this regular season. But Xhekaj did learn from it and delivered his best performance under those circumstances in the most important game of the season to date. In 10 minutes and 59 seconds on Game 1, Sunday, the 25-year-old had 5 shot attempts and 5 hits, putting up zeros in the most important categories, penalties and giveaways. In between, he got runway to play more, with both Dobson and Carrier injured, stacking up close to 20 minutes in 2 of the last 3 regular season games. And that played a big role in what we saw from him on Sunday. That's how Marty St. Louis saw it too. I feel like he really benefited down the stretch of playing a lot of minutes and building his game, said St. Louis Monday. Sometimes it's hard for a player who doesn't get all these minutes to build his game, and I feel like his simplicity yesterday, his predictability too for his teammates and stuff, and being composed, he played a physical game, but he was composed, towed the line, and I think that's important. But I think it really helped him down the stretch to stack up good games with more minutes. And obviously, it goes hand in hand. If you play those minutes, you probably gain more confidence. He took advantage of those minutes, and he's carried that definitely into Game 1. Man, this is great, isn't it? Arber Xhekaj finally feeling some of the love from Martin St. Louis. Sure, you can say it is a product of necessity. It's like, hey, Arber, we got no choice. We're going to play you more because our guys are out. Guys are going to be coming in. We need to split up the minutes a little bit easier, so you're going to be getting these 20-something minute games here. Unfortunately, he didn't get 20 minutes against Tampa in Game 1. He had 10, but he did have some 19-minute games throughout the course of the last few games here. So Arber Xhekaj, definitely using him in a more sporadic role, but he has used those minutes to refine and polish what he does on the ice. As long as he continues doing this, not giving any pucks away and not taking any penalties, knock on wood, of course, I think a lot of Canadiens fans are going to be happy with Xhekaj. He played so well that he ended up on the ice with fewer than 2 minutes to play in the game, which was something that didn't generally happen in the other games since he played so little. We're always calculated, said St. Louis, but we're not afraid to give him those types of minutes. The article then talks about how the defense were boxing guys out. Carrier, Xhekaj, Guhle, Hudson, Matheson, Struble. The Canadiens limited second chance opportunities for the Lightning to practically zero in Game 1. It's something they've improved on significantly down the stretch of the regular season. Physical, letting the goalie see the puck, said Guhle. I think it's something, definitely, that's been a bigger topic for the defensemen. Clearing out the front of the net and letting our goalie see the puck. I think it's just being physical and not letting guys there. And they know if they want to get there, they're going to have to work for it. The Canadiens limited Tampa Bay to just 12 shot-driving plays at 5v5, which was 9 fewer than what the Canadiens were able to generate at 21. Now, these next two notes are really interesting. One talks about how special teams were not the only difference in Game 1. How, despite the penalties, despite the power plays, Montreal still went out there and had better even strength, expected goals, and slot shots opportunities. They had higher slot driving plays compared to Tampa. They had more high danger scoring chances. They did all of this at even strength. The only metrics where Tampa bested Montreal at evens were when you were talking strictly about puck in the offensive zone time and offensive zone possession time. So, strictly speaking, when the puck was cycling around and when they were passing it, doing all their stuff, that's when Tampa did have more of an opportunity to create offense compared to Montreal, although they did not actually do that. They just had more of an opportunity to do that. The Habs did create more slot shots and high danger chances. That bleeds very nicely into our conversation about special teams. Because yes, even strength did give Montreal the edge, but so did the power plays. That's where Juraj Slafkovsky scored all 3 of his goals 2 nights ago. And it's what Jon Cooper tried pointing the finger at in regards to his own team's performance. He said before Game 1, we're going to have to try to find a way to not do some of the things we did in the regular season, but I don't want to take that mentality away from our players either. The Lightning straddled the line well, but crossed another one completely with costly stick-high... What in the world does that say? With costly stick-high sticking penalties. Oh my goodness. Eric Engels, bro. Proofread your articles, buddy. The Lightning straddled that line well, but crossed another one completely with costly stick-high sticking penalties up to 200 feet away from their own net. Cooper wasn't blaming the officials for them. No, I had a problem with us. I mean, come on. We took 4 offensive zone penalties, said Cooper. Just look at them. That's not over-aggression. That's just stupidity. You know, a lot of them. That was on us. This was a game that we just gave them an opportunity to win. This is the Stanley Cup Playoffs. This isn't Game 62, so that is extremely disappointing in the way we conducted ourselves and the amount of penalties that we took. So, I'm not going to blame Jon Cooper for putting the narrative about the penalties themselves. He had an opportunity to talk about, oh, Slafkovsky is so good, oh, Dobesh stoned us. No, he'll take the high road and say that it's a reflection on Tampa, why things didn't go their way because of their penalty issues. The Lightning also ran the 3rd best PK all season, but they flopped that in Game 1. That'll need to change in Game 2. If not, then you're probably not going to last very long, said Cooper. If you're killing penalties off at 50% when you only took 2, so it's 1 for 2, maybe you can survive. But you can't let that happen where you're letting in all these power play goals. So that's on us. There's no excuses, nothing. So with all that said, you can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about some of these Montreal Canadiens notes post Game 1? From Alexandre Carrier stepping up big time to fill in the minutes of Noah Dobson, and to seeing the defense actually take strides to boxing out Tampa so effectively. How do you think this is going to carry into Game 2? Do you think the results are going to be the same? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.